Hello, this is Jennifer Shoemaker, and I am going to give you a little bit of a tour of my Bio 140 course, General Biology. So as you can see here, I've got a little announcement welcoming you to the course to give you a little bit of information about the course. If we click on the content button and overview, I've also got an image here from the front page of the textbook that's used with this course, as well as another description of the material that will be covered in this course to give you another idea of what we're going to be talking about all semester long. We head over to the week 0, kind of the start here. This is all the information that you need to know to get ready for the course, kind of background information. I've provided a little biography on myself, not very long at all, but just to give you an idea of who I am. And then if we go back, you can see that I've also got the syllabus uploaded in this area. Course guidelines, so this is the document that we produced in this class with the specifics on how to maneuver around the class, the expectations for the course, all that's included in the course guidelines, which has been uploaded onto this site. So you should be able to see that. So dealing with communication, best way to get a hold of me, and what to expect as far as the course and how you should be working through the material. If we go back, I've also included a forum for the students for course content and discussion, so students can post their own questions if they have them, and they can be answered by students within the class. So sometimes I may not be online when a student has a question, but another student might be online and be able to answer their question more quickly than I can get to it. So this is an area for the students to kind of have their own conversations. Then I've also posted a what to do piece here. So what to do if you run into problems with the different technology and where they can find assistance. Obviously, I can help them with the biology part, but I'm not always the best person to contact when it comes to the technology portion. So I've included a separate page for that. And then this last piece is how to access your MindTap course. So we are using a Cengage book, which has its own little platform for the course, and this is basically kind of the instructions for how to access MindTap and get into the specific course that I have built within MindTap for this class. All right, so that's kind of all the background information. And then if we were to actually dive into the content of the course, this may not necessarily be the first thing I would start out with, but I chose to create this module of understanding infectious diseases, talking about viruses. So got a little bit of an overview and the learning outcomes that are posted, as well as kind of the estimated time that students should expect to work on this material. Then I've got various links. I've got links to sections within their textbook, just sections. So once again, it kind of takes them to their textbook portion where they can pick up the reading from there. And I've got various other resources that students can read as well from very trusted websites about the content, so that way they can get a different viewpoint of the same material than what is just published in their textbook. So we've got articles for them to read. This is an audio review, so it's just a recording talking about some of the information that we are covering. So it's about viruses and prokaryotes. So as it says, it's just a 5-minute summary. And then below that, I've got a link to an animation from the Howard Hughes Medical Institute that talks about the HIV life cycle. I always tell students that I want them to listen to the information, kind of see the information and write the information and read it, use as many of their senses as they can to try to learn the information. So I try to provide something where they're at least hearing the material, they're kind of watching the processes that happen in biology, some type of animation or something that's in motion so that they can see the connections between everything that's going on. And then, of course, having them read material as well. So we've got those portions. Then I have a formative assessment, which is through MindTap, a conceptual learning activity. So this is something that the publisher has set up that are questions that students answer, and if they get the question wrong, then it will cycle another question back around for them to answer on that same topic. So if the student seems to know the information, then it can be a relatively quick assignment. If the student does not seem to be very prepared and does not seem to know the material, then it will keep on cycling questions until they're able to prove that they know the information. Then I've got more outside links. This one from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia talking about vaccines, and because they're going to be doing kind of with the next module coming up, and they'll be doing a summative assignment in which they would need that information. And then we've got the Virtual Virus Explorer Lab. So this is something that I have built into D2L, and I'm going to show it to you here. So these are the questions. So students will go to the Howard Hughes Medical Institute site. They have a Virtual Virus Explorer Lab, which shows various different viruses, and students can kind of compare and contrast the different viruses as far as their shape and their nucleic acid information and the different disorders that they cause and whether there's vaccines available, so they can kind of compare and contrast all these different viruses. And this quiz here then asks them information from that website. So I've embedded a table for them to fill in as part of the answer, and then I've got other questions for them to complete as part of this assignment for them to submit at the end there. And let's see what else we've got. Got another link, and then I've created a survey for the students to complete. Part of this survey, they are to read a news article, and then there's kind of this summary of that article from there, and asking them what their thoughts are. And it's just a little bit of a summary there, a survey to kind of get their feelings on the topic, and kind of a little bit of a participation grade for them. So that's basically the course that I have built within D2L. This is my first time using this system, and I like the way it looks. I like the appearance of everything and how it pops up. It's very soothing on the eyes to look at and very easy to navigate. So I hope you enjoyed this little overview.